AOEs to see the Akali. That's or lock down the Akali. That's why they're playing safe here.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
To be honest, I get it. Like those AOE damage, sure, fine, but it's not always that the Akali will be using the Twilight Shroud in situations in where your Renekton is actually close by or nearby, right? Like there are instances in where you can use the Akali to flank straight to the backline of the opponent. Exactly. So and that AOE thing, sure, it will give you some benefits here and there, but it's not the end all be all. This I like though, like being able to silence down the Akali and also executing with, of course, the strongest ultimate made of all time.
That is true. That's the strongest ultimate.
It is definitely going to be very good, especially with Lemon piloting it, right? We have to remember that Lemon is that one player that is very tank centric, right? So to speak. And during his time in FPX, we always laud him in his decision making.
Yeah, and what's really hard about this though, the only reason why they have picked the Garen against most of the time Fiora has the advantage, right, on that lane. But because they didn't have any more options in the top side, they were defaulted back to that Garen. But again, it's a welcome addition to this lineup just because they would need that execution power.
I stand corrected. He was actually from Woohoo Gaming, and you know what Woohoo Gaming is known for? August, right, in the jungle. So August is the carry jungler, and then Lemon is the utility tank Baron laner. Exactly. And so now let's wait for it, right? It's the Garen show. Garen is back in the menu.
Oh man, I would love to see the Garen now. This is like a callback to season 1, seeing the Garen again. But now they have a lot of power picks coming into the side of Trace Esports. Look at that. That is a lot of resource-heavy champions onto their side. I would love to see how they would manage it this game.
Exactly. Well, game number 2, everybody, with JDG match point already. Cannot wait for this as to how this game will turn out. But looking as to how easy it is to execute the draft of JDG, like they have the cease and desist coming from the Vi, and that's point and click. You also have a point and click ultimate coming from the Garen. So it is just so easy to execute looking at that perspective, right? So like if you are Trace Esports, you still have to be very careful with the draft that was made here, that was drafted here by JDG.
Yeah, and most of the time, ease of execution is enough already. Most of the time, some teams use this to even carry themselves up to the championship. And that is one of the things that I love about KBG, because that is really what they do. Except for Unron. Everybody has been doing it simply for KBG.
Yeah, they simplify everything, right? Like, why make it complicated? Just master those champions that is still very much effective. And again, mastery is one way to do things here in Wild Rift. Now we're looking at the bot lane here, and we're looking at, again, the new meta pick here in the Dragon lane, in the Xayah, just because of how the items have changed. They said that Xayah does have a good amount of damage. I believe them.
Yeah, that's true though. A lot of damage, especially in the early game. Once you hit the level 3, the Blade Clearer is just gonna hit really hard, which makes it... Oh wait, what a great riposte from Lee Sao. And that could potentially be the end of it for Lemon here on the top side.
Yeah, he's not leveling up to level 3, but he ignited prematurely just to make sure to negate some of the healing coming in from Lee Sao. But that is Lemon really surrendering this lane. Like he has to go back. And the lane, the wave is actually pushing. So one way or another, like Trace Esports on the top side will be able to deny some minions. But yeah, this is kind of expected though. As a Garen, it's hard to match up against the Fiora.
Yeah, it's gonna be real hard. A lot of damage coming in from your Fiora, a lot of sustain too. Yes, you have your own sustain for the Garen, but most of the time, the biggest part of the Garen is fighting. Wait,
repeat.
Yeah. Weibo is already ready, and Xiaoji isn't level 5 yet, so this is not a potential fight for them.
Yeah, so what happened there? Xiaoji was able to spot the Fiora, and immediately he decided to back away. Okay, so this Fiora is not going to be by himself.
For sure.
And his senses was so on point that his life was safe.
Yeah, now he sees Weibo. And this is one of the advantages whenever you're fighting against an Evelynn. This is what's hard about it, because you won't be able to see where the Evelynn is pathing, and most of the time you just see them going onto the map, getting kills, just because you didn't see their pathing.
Yep. It's again the global presence of, or the hidden passive of the Evelyn. You don't see her in the map, so you kind of have to think twice whenever making a decision. But then again, right now, like Lisa, this Garen is just so tanky. That could have been, you know, already a kill if it was a different champion. But this Garen being so tanky, Weiba wisely just backs away.
Yeah, and massive wave too on the top side. This is one of the advantages. Whenever you win the lane, Lisa could just hold on to this lane, not let Lemon get any farms, and once he moves forward, that's gonna be a problem. Exhausting both dragon laners.
Yeah, Juju did have the advantage still because
he
didn't use his ultimate.
Oh man.
Yeah, but Juju did not use his Feather Storm, and so there is an opportunity for them to at least the hour dive.
That's gonna be the kill though, just because, as you said it, because he didn't use his ultimate, that's gonna be a chance for Juju to dive in because he still has the Feather Storm.
That's Doki's fault. Doki was so far away, and if you're JDG, whoa,
here comes the Feather Storm, here comes the flash, and that's the reason why it was effective, but they got the knockup anyway, and Juju's gonna die, but here it comes, the turnaround. Corn? Perfect execution, gets a shuriken flip, they try to go in, and this is not enough. Xiaoji's gonna fall.
Okay, that's a 2-for-1 for Trace Esports, and again, in the end, JDG was late to the party. Yeah, sure, they were able to get one, but at the price of another head. And so now JDG, although they were able to win the first game, I did say that these two teams, they're very equally matched, and I could really see a game 3 happening here if this continues.
Very possible here for Trace Esports, as long as they keep on to this path that they're going for. This is going to be good for them, and look at this replay.
Yep, let's look at that replay once again. Feather Storm by Juju, and again preemptively flashing, making sure that the Call of the Forge God doesn't hit. But it's so easy to execute whenever you get knocked up, right? Bei using his ultimate to just gap close in and was able to get the head, but again at the price of 1 because Korn was also here.
Yeah, that's also one of the problems with this composition from JDG. Yes, they have ease of execution, but if they don't really have that damage potential yet in this early game, that Kassadin and the Zeri are always going to be important in this big fights.
Exactly. Who is first to show into the party will be able to impact the game more.
Yeah, Lisa goes in, a lot of damage, and JDG is they're going to have a hard time trying to take this, and that's going to be it. And they were able to take it, yes, but it is still not enough. The Orn was able to get it. Here comes the Orn of the Forge God coming in from Doki, but here comes everybody. And Doki is going to be dead here for sure. Damage, Lisa, he's going to try, but the riposte was perfectly timed.
Yeah, I don't think he will ever survive that, even as an Orn. And also some execution here as well, as the Garen decided to just, you know, get the tower, kill him. But that still is massive for Doki. He was able to get the Rift Herald. None of the junglers was able to secure it, surprisingly. And that Rift Herald is going to be used for tempo boosting purposes. Let's look at that replay once again. Tak with a very well-timed explosive cast. And the jungler being down right away was so key. Okay, so it was actually the jungler of Trace Esports being on the other side of the map. The Evelyn was securing the the Infernal Dragon, while the other members of Trace Esports is already here challenging for the Rift Herald. And so that is almost 2 for 2 special. It was only because Doki was able to secure the Rift Herald that they were able to save their early game.
Yeah, and that was a really smart play coming in from the side of Trace Esports. Now that they have the advantage, this is one of the things that I love about Trace Esports, is that if ever they get the advantage, they're gonna snowball it out of control. And right now, JDG so far doesn't have any answer.
Again, ease of execution against the assassination from Trace Esports. Weiba being found out all the resources. You look at the level gap here by the junglers. Weiba already level 9, Xiaoji level 8. But that's okay, that's a Vi though.
He uses the Horn of the Forge God, knocks up 3 members. They can go for another more. Xiaoji being chased down again by Lisa with a grand challenge and force the flash away.
It's a 4v4 and no one died yet. Doki going to dash away, and Lemon again being the Garen. Wait,
look
what?
How fast everybody is. They are gonna go here. They're not gonna hesitate and deny the jungler from Xiaoji.
Their playstyle to play around Weiba is really so evident right now, Dash. Like, you look at how every player of Trace Esports move. It's as if Weiba is their mirror, right? Like the VIP. He's going to get protected at all costs.
Yeah, and that is one of the things that is good about this, because their resources are just in there, and that top side, a lot of people just executing Korn.
Oh, it's actually the other way
With
around.
Korn,
They're helping Korn to get that assassination against the Kassadin, and that's a huge blow. But again, talking about cross map plays, JDG after taking the mid lane tower, they want the bot lane as well.
Yeah, they're going to be taking the tower. They're going to take anything that
Good
they
macro.
can get. Xiaoji now left alone again. Wasn't able to dash away, but they got the riposte in a bit too late. But JDG forced to flash away. Doki used it, and most of their members are already here, so they need to back away.
Yeah, no charm going to connect from Weiba this time. And again, JDG, that's 2 towers for the price of 1. Definitely at the advantage of JDG. They will still be able to defend this tower. They have enough wave clear. And Xiaoji will just be able to return home just in time for the next objective to spawn up.
Smart use of the Ultra Shock Laser just to clear the wave in order for them to not go in and try to push out and maybe get some kills. So now JDG is just stalling in order for them to get a good stability before the next big objective. But now, look at the push coming in. Korn is already on the backside. Lemon super low. Have a perfect execution at the ready.
Yeah, but that's a Garen though. Like you cannot.
Okay.
You can never disrespect a Garen. Like one silence could just throw off your combo, and Korn knows best. Let's go back to the wave in here in the mid lane and just help out, stabilize the lane. I looked at the gold graph earlier, and Trace Esports does have 2 of their members at the top of the food chain, right? It was Juju and of course their centerpiece in Weiba topping the gold charts.
Wait, look at the confidence coming in from Weiba here. Weiba is already moving forward. Damage is not enough. Not even using the cease and desist. And here it comes. The knockup comes through. They have the last caress.
Yep. It was a 4-man push on the top lane, and there's no counter play, counter map play that was made here by Trace Esports. JDG being proactive and macro-wise, yeah, sure, exactly. I think it's so evident right now that JDG's macro is superior to to Trace Esports by a bit, right? It's not by a mile, by a bit.
They're doing it slowly though. We lost a lot of fights. Yes, we are on a disadvantage. We don't need to take them. We just need to take the towers.
Now the dragon being started, this could deny the soul.
We'll be starting already. Trace Esports, Weiba already on the back line. Gonna try to get it. Horde of the Forge God wasn't able to hit it first, and Weiba is gonna be taking the Mountain Drake just because of that. One mistake could cost them their whole lives, and Trace Esports have the dragon, and they're gonna be running away with it.
They have to run away for sure. Juju though is the best front-to-back champion in the game, right? They're super scared of this very fed Xayah, and that's the wisest decision that JDG has ever made in this game. Yeah, there's no more objective to fight for, sure, so let's just back away. Let's just go back to our lane, stabilize, and what it ended with was Trace Esports can now threaten the Mountain Soul, and that's huge. Again, Mountain Soul gives resistances and shield. Oh, good luck to JDG.
Man. If ever that happens, if they get the soul, JDG is on a bit of a pinch. And even with this 2k gold lead, because they weren't able to get the 2 objectives, this is bad for them.
Let's look at that once again. I mean, I was closely monitoring how Weiba will play this out, because normally as an Evelyn, you go for the kills, but this time you went. Oh, that was a very good cast coming from Tak. Now it makes a lot of sense, right? That explosive cast deserves a highlight play in our top place.
Now, let's take a look at it onto the top side of the map. And so far, JDG is still being pushed back by Trace Esports. Look at that explosive cast again to cancel the Horde of the Forge God, and that's gonna stop them from engaging.
Yep. And Fei also needed to use the flash. Yeah, okay. Fei not having flash is a very big investment for sure, because he needs all of those, especially come a potential Baron fight. Oh, okay.
Not a lot of damage still coming in from Lemon. And so far, Tak has been having a blast here this game, canceling all the Horn of the Forge Gods of Doki. Makes it hard for them to even engage.
Yeah, I mean, Tak, this Gragas is super good. It's even the disengaging explosive cast to secure the second dragon of the game was, again, one of the highlights of this game. And the action continues with Trace Esports still having that win condition. They have the 3k goal lead, and they can threaten
Wait,
the Soul.
they see it though. They see that Weibo is on the bot side of the map. They could
Yep.
even start taking vision on this top side before a fight even breaks out. But because Weibo was able to get that, now bot lane is going to be threatened from JDG's side.
Exactly. This is the gamble. This is the this is the thing that you put on the line whenever you pick a Garen against the Fiora. Surely come late game like this, Fiora is not going to lead the side lanes. He will be there to split push 24/7. Meanwhile, you as a Garen, you kind of want to influence the ganks. Sorry, the skirmishes, the clashes. But if you are this behind, if you're JDG, there's no way to really force a team fight, right?
Yeah.
If you force a team fight at this position, chances are you will lose heavily and en route to a potential win for Trace Esports.
Yeah, one thing that they could do now is just to wait for the items coming in for that Kassadin, because the Rabadon stat cup is waiting. Once they get the Rabadon stat cup in level 13, that could potentially be their chance to go and fight back against Trace Esports. So they are just waiting for that power spike, and this is a very smart way to play.
3 items already completed for the Zion. That's already very scary, right? Like,
ooh, yeah.
Oh no! Never mind the stasis. Just trust TAC to be able to be disengaged for you. And again, Doki, as much as we loved his Rakan, this Ornn is being challenged over and over again by the Gragas pickup here by Trace.
Yeah, and also Xiaoji hasn't been having the best day. Even if it tries to engage, they don't really have that damage to follow through during the earlier stages of our game. That's why he's just a sacrifice most of the time.
Yep. Bye-bye. Finally level 13 here. And again, he was the MVP in game number 1, so never count out Feibai on this Kassadin. Really want to see an assassination play coming in from Feibai on towards the primary carries of Trace Esports, but it's kind of hard to do, especially against Juju with the Featherstone available.
Yeah, don't know where Weibo is. Gonna try to really get that charm in. They want to get this Ocean Dig. If they don't try to get it, it's gonna be a big problem for JDG.
Oh, for sure. Again, Soul for contestation.
Oh, good one! The support, won't be able to get it. Explosive gas attack is gonna fall down, but the back line is breached. And this is a lot of damage coming in from their side. Trace Esports is having a blast in this game. Look at the damage coming in from Lemon. And this is gonna be the takedowns. JDG lost the fight. And it's now a 4v2. Doki's being chased down. Lee Sao is going to be ending their lives.
He's dead.
And Doki is going to be dead for sure.
Yeah. What JDG did there was to go all in and make sure that the Soul won't join Trace Esports. But in return, that's 4 heads to just 1. And they still have their jungler readily available to secure this Baron. I called it, Dash. I feel that these two teams are very evenly matched, and it does look like that we are well on our way to a game number 3.
Yeah, this is gonna be real hard now for JDG. Once they got it, they need to really respect the next picks that are gonna be coming for Weibo. If they do ban Evelyn for this next game, Weibo is just gonna pull out another champion.
And again, this is them respecting the mid lanes, right? Like, there's a lot of I would say changes or contrast between games 1 and 2, just mid lane from the Vladimir standpoint. We have to remember that Feibai was the beast on the Vladimir, and this in this Kassadin, it's not as impactful as he was in game 1.
Wasn't expecting this to happen for him, especially, but now Honor of the Forge God is gonna be committed
no
on
way.
their side, runs away because they know the attack is in the area and they're not gonna finish the kill. So they just play it safe.
Feibai still very scary again. Oh man, 1-2-2 or 1-3-1 special coming in from Trace Esports.
Yeah.
The duration of the Baron buff still is less than half, and so it's still good for like 2 more waves, and the mid lane tower is already destroyed.
Or maybe we could say 2 more towers, because they still are, or at least have some time to take down this tower on the bot lane. Doki was pulled back with the explosive cast, and Trace Esports in the back line, though. Damage is not going to be there. Even with the 6 and desist, they're not going to be able to finish Cord. Yes, they would! And JDG with Barry having the lightning crash, that is enough.
Yeah, on the top side, though, the problem, the Fiora percent of the late game, especially with the Baron buff, is just too much to handle for JDG. Now, 2 of the towers is already destroyed. That's permanent pushing wave, assisting Trace Esports. And so now, All it is the waiting game. In 20 seconds, the Elder Dragon will spawn up, and what Trace Esports could do is to just wait for the minions to crash over to the base of JDG before even starting the Elder Dragon.
They can just finish this whenever they want to. Now they're waiting for the Elder Dragon to spawn just to have that icing on top of the cake. Wait for the next respawner, and JDG could be ended on the next minute.
Yeah, 17 minutes and 50 is the timer, and there you go. Mr. Elder Dragon should join the Wild Rift right here, right now. But it does look like that they will be sending their Fiora towards the top. You know, it's also just pulling back resources from the other side. Oh, hang on. You look at Weiba. Weiba's planning something evil.
Okay. Sees where Barry is. Has the dash though. Gonna be able to try and convert this to a charm. Barry flashes in! And that's a good exhaust, but that is enough actually. Tak was able to answer with an explosive cast, and that is why they were able to finish the fight. Korn almost got a great perfect execution there, but this is gonna be game.
Evil plans by Weiba was successful, and so now Trace Esports just playing with food right now. Literally food. We're talking about lemon.
Yeah, that is going to be it. That is going to be the end of the fight, and Trace Esports answers with a 1-1 in this series.
Extends the series into game number 3. The first ever game 3 here in WRL 2 is going